So back to that breaking news we've been following overnight into the early morning. One person is dead. This is after approaching 3 JSO officers, we are told, with a knife in hand.
That is according to Sheriff TK Waters. Let's go out live now to Fariha Abrar in the Dinsmore area. Fariha, this is the sixth instance of JSO officers shooting someone in just over 6 weeks. And the sheriff says the suspects in these cases are the ones dictating the outcomes. What does he mean by that?
Well, when Sheriff Waters says the suspects are dictating the outcome, he means that they're bringing out weapons during these incidents. Now, Sheriff Waters says that they are not responding to these incidents with the intention of violence. He actually told us that on a one-on-one a few weeks ago when we asked him about officer-involved shootings and what leads up to them. Now, we did hear that all of this was the result of a domestic violence call, and it ended here in Dinsmore. I'm going to step out so you can look at the scene a little bit better. It's been cleared a bit, but what you're looking at right now is the scene video that we had from earlier. Now, according to JSO, officers first went to a home where a caller said a man was making threats to his wife, saying they were both going to die last night. Before JSO arrived, that suspect fled. While they were talking to the victim, they got on the phone with the suspect, and JSO says that suspect said he was not going to prison and officers must kill him. That's when JSO says they were able to coordinate his location to a nearby family's home, and officers in this area were then sent to check on him. When they arrived at the home he was at, JSO says he was in the car with his knife, and according to Sheriff Waters, the officers then tried to talk him out of exiting the car with his knife, but he didn't do that, and instead JSO says he got out aggressively with his knife, and that's when officers had to shoot him. JSO says they provided CPR at the scene, and he died at a nearby hospital later. Neighbors then told me they heard dozens of gunshots, maybe about 50, but JSO says about 3 officers were involved in this, and it was all of their first night out alone.
Saw him in the car. He asked him to step out, and when he grabbed the knife, he said, "Don't grab that." He told him not to bring it out with him. He did it anyway, and then you leave him with very little choice when you're advancing toward a police officer holding a knife. The result is going to end up pretty much like it is.
And so we do know the state attorney's office is currently investigating, but we'll keep you posted on other details that we continue to learn. Again, this is developing and we're learning more details while we're out on here on the scene. Live in Dinsmore, Fariha Abrar, First Coast News on your side.
And Fariha, you will be joined by our crime and safety expert, Ken Jefferson, maybe to get a little more perspective on how the department handles situations like this. Is that correct?
Yeah, Ken's actually joining us in the next half hour. He's actually going to share some of his background information. He actually was just telling me over the phone that he was a field training officer when he was with JSO for nearly 24 years. And so we're going to get to learn a little bit from him about what goes into making sure that officers are prepared for calls out here.
Fariha Abrar there live for us in the Dinsmore area following another deadly officer-involved shooting. Thanks for that, Fariha. It's now 35 minutes past the hour.